Okay, perfect. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all right. Happy Sunday. It's very noisy where we are because there's like fireworks going all over the place, but it's all good. Hope you've had an amazing weekend. Welcome to the call. So this is our Sunday night training call. We're actually livening it into financial freedom as well because I'm going to be interviewing a brand new national marketing director. Oh, it gives me so much excitement and pleasure to say that. I've been waiting to say that for 2 years. Brand new national marketing director, Lynne Macdonald. So if you have anybody in your team who's not watching this yet and you think they need to be on this, you've got 60 seconds to give them a nudge to go quick, because this is the interview that she's going to do. This is it. She's got a mission now to get to IMD, EMD and PMD. So this is the interview where you find out what she does and how she does it and what's going on and all about that, right? This is the place where you're going to find out all of that information. So thank you so much for jumping on. I am super excited to chat to Lynne tonight, to find out everything about like her backstory, what she's about. I know most of it, but I know what like an incredible, insane work ethic she has, but also what a crazy busy life at home. And you don't see a lot sometimes of what goes on in the background of people's journeys sometimes. So I'm going to ask her to share a little bit about, you know, juggling life and juggling being a mum with building a business and building a team. And I want to share some stuff about, she has a complete no BS attitude, which all of you who are in her team will know, which is just like, it's incredible to be around and incredible to be part of. And I'm absolutely, you know, I love having her as part of the team. She's my absolute wing woman in this whole business, and we just like have a great time. Those of you who are in the girl gang with us will know, and obviously you guys all on this call are all in the girl gang with us, will know like what an incredible like woman she is. So enough of my yittering. Let me just spotlight Lynne and I'll shut up. Is she there? There she is. Good evening, my darling. So first of all, massive hallelujah! Congratulations on being your first full week heading into being a national marketing director. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels amazing. And do you know what? On the day that it all happened, I think I hadn't slept, as you know, since the 1st of May 2018. So that was all like a little bit like, I don't know, I just kept feeling on the day, I'm not saying what I want to say to the people I want to say it to, because I was just, I don't know, I think on the day it was just like, whoa, you're working towards a goal for a while and you suddenly get the goal and it feels a bit like, has that really happened? And I knew it had happened, but it was also a bit like, has that really happened? And it was only the last couple of days that when I woke up in the morning, I'm like, I am an NMD. And then I went on The Office earlier today, and at the top it said NMD, and I'm going around the house and I'm like, I'm feeling very NMD today. Anyway, so yeah, feels good, feels great.
It does take a little while to sink in, and I know it's the goal for pretty much everybody in the business to get to that position. And let me just mute everybody. Sorry, can you unmute yourself again? There we go. It's a goal, obviously, for everybody in the business to get to that position. So, let's just assume, apart from the few, like the people that you've got in your own business and your own team, and some of them won't even know your story either. So tell us, go right back to the start and tell us, like, what's the story, the backstory to your journey? How did you get involved, and what's been going on?
Okay, so 2 years ago, I joined on the 30th of September 2016. So Logan at the time was, like a year and 3 months or something like that. And I had extra weight. I was tired. I was a new mum. I was 39 by the time I had Logan. And it was a little bit of, even although we tried to have him for several years, it was a little bit of a shock to the system. And he also didn't sleep for the first year of his life. So I wouldn't say I had no energy. I just knew that I wasn't feeling and looking like myself. Also, I had done a combination of a few different things in my life prior. So like, I'm an old one. So I had done a couple of different things. So I'd been to university. I only went to university because my mum said to me, you got to study, Lynn, and go to uni to get a good job and earn some good money. And I was like, okay, I want to earn some good money, so I better just do that. Mm-hmm. So went to university, ended up working in financial services. Loved it, actually, really loved it. And I was able to travel around quite a bit with it. I then also ran my own business for a while. I've worked abroad for a while. I have been in network marketing, but never found somewhere that was kind of like really home. So I'd done a few different things. And at the time that I'm speaking about, like 2 years ago, I just had Logan. I was thinking about going back to work in the business that I had, but I didn't want to leave him. I didn't want to pay for childcare and not see him. I didn't want to miss a moment with him. but I still wanted to be me, and I've always been really ambitious, so I still wanted to earn income. And what happened was, at exactly the same time, I saw you on Facebook. Now, I wasn't actually actively looking. You just happened to... we still don't even know how we were connected on Facebook. We didn't know each other before. We hadn't spoken before. We'd never seen each other in real life. I just started seeing you on Facebook some way, somehow, because the universe obviously works in a funky little way. And I started seeing you, and you just looked like the healthiest and happiest person I'd ever seen. And also, I was like, I like her. And I just kind of followed you, and then I started seeing you regularly, because obviously I was like following you and I was interested. I used to watch your little morning videos that you did, like, I can't remember if they were 5 minutes or whatever, but I used to watch those in the morning. And I remember I shared this the other night at the event, Emma, where I was like, I used to think, I want to be her pal. Because I just, that way where you get to know somebody online, we all do it. And you really start to see their life, and I love the fact your lifestyle, you look really healthy, you were taking kids to school, you were going to the gym. I could see there was a business attached to it. I could see there was health products. Initially, I wasn't really looking at that. I was just kind of intrigued by who you were. And then randomly, I didn't like any of your posts or comment in any of your posts. You didn't even know who I was. That wasn't necessarily on purpose. It was just the fact that you didn't know me, so why would I be liking on your posts or comment? And that was just like, I didn't overthink that. I just knew that I hadn't. So therefore, the day that I messaged you saying, Emma, could you tell me a bit about these products and this opportunity? You didn't even know who I was. So you sent me 2 little videos, just the basic product video and I think the Gen Y video. And as soon as I watched it all, I was like, get me all these products, get me in this business. I don't understand. I know some people say they were skeptical. I don't understand that at all, because I was never. And yeah, so I just got to work. I just basically said, what do I do now? And you told me, and that's what I've done the whole time. What did I do next? What did I do next? What did I do next? And that's what I did. That's my story. Up to that point of joining.
So did you find it really easy to get started, or were you like, what was the first few months like?
I found it. I did actually find it easy, because I didn't think about it. I was excited. I was like, when you said to me, what do you want to achieve with this business? And thinking about that and talking to you about what I could achieve with this business, the fact that I could stay at home with my little boy, never miss a moment, build an income up of whatever level that I wanted. I mean, who would not be bloody excited about that? So I wasn't overthinking anything. I remember in the December of the year that I joined, so I didn't really start building the business till October. And I remember in the December you said to me, oh, Lynne, you've got a £7,000 pay line. And I was like, have I? I didn't even know what that meant. I didn't know what it meant or I remember saying to you, is that good? And you went, yeah. Because I wasn't overthinking anything. I was excited, like on the call that I've just done, the New Start call, where I said you can get to SDD and SC on excitement and enthusiasm alone. And I believe that you absolutely can. And that I was just sharing the products with people, sharing the opportunity. We didn't have any of the systems that we've got in place now. It was just me. I think we did have like the Monday night maybe, or we had a night or Sunday night I think we had. I just shared the products in the business with people. I was a product of the product myself, so I was sharing my own journey, and I was really excited and really enthusiastic and loving everything. I just didn't overthink anything. Just got to work and didn't overthink anything at all. I wasn't worried about what anybody else was thinking. I wasn't thinking, will I succeed or won't I? I was just bloody excited. So yeah, it was actually easier in the first few months, because I was so excited, and I literally was of the mindset that everybody should be taking these products and doing this business, because why the hell wouldn't you? And I think that's the way I went out and spoke to people about it, because that's how I was feeling genuinely.
So obviously you've got Logan, who's 3 now. He was just a baby really at the time, and a lot of people, we've all got like busy lives and loads going on. And I know your partner works away quite a lot. He's got like a really demanding job that he does as well. So was there ever a time in that like first few months where you were like, oh, I can't juggle all this, it's too much to do? Or do you ever feel like overwhelmed by it at the beginning?
I think the first few months I personally wasn't, because I was just so excited. And I was very much like, I can't even believe that this opportunity's here, the support system that was in place with you guys. So I don't think I kind of thought about that in the first few months. And yeah, Joe does work away. He's just left yesterday and he's away for 5 weeks to climb Everest with a group of clients. And yeah, it is a bit of a kind of, especially where we live, because we don't live near to any of my family or most of my really good friends. So like babysitting and any kind of additional help that I need, have to drive for hours and hours and hours to drop Logan. And I do have like a girl that does babysit and whatnot, but I don't have absolutely nothing. But it's just a little bit more of a juggle. I would say like the initial few months, no, I didn't feel like any of that frustration, but I have felt it for sure. And there has been times when I've been building. My business went to SDD in the first week or so, SC I think the next month, SSC within a few months, and I almost hit QNMD in month 7. And then we missed it, and then I think what happened was I started telling myself, oh, we've missed it. We missed it last month. So that was my new story. Like, that was my new story of, oh, we just missed QNMD. We just missed QNMD. So that became my story for 5 flipping months. And then eventually we hit it. And there was times during that I was like, will I ever do this? Is anybody going to join and actually do something? I'm just going to keep this call really, really real. Like some months where I'd be like, oh, I don't have many customers this month. What's happening? And you start to think about, well, why is that happening? You start to tell yourself a story. And just, yeah, I've had tons of frustrations. I've said to you before that I feel like I've had every single network marketing itis that you could possibly have. So comparisonitis, perfect-itis, belief-itis, can I do this itis, can I be bothered-itis, like every single thing that you could possibly have. And I do believe that we all go through the same things, just not in the same order. Because we have to get to where we all want to be, you've got to experience some of the same things, but it's more how you handle it and how you deal with it. So yeah, I've had tons of frustrations and I've been really pissed off at certain times. And when we were going for NMD, it was a whole year almost, maybe not just as much as a year, but a period of time that my business didn't even move. And every month I was like, what is happening? Because we were putting in customers and I was putting in teammates, and it was like kind of like what we've spoken about before. Like there was a hole in the bucket. You were putting it in one end and they were coming out the other. And I remember Alex and you saying, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't look left. Don't look right. Just keep looking straight ahead and keep doing what you're doing. And you can't afford to look any direction in the direction you're going.
So, and that's so true, and a lot of people, I'm sure, like, you'll know, if you'll stick it in the comments, guys, if you know what that feels like, when you feel like you're working and working and working and working, but nothing's moving, or not, it's not going in the direction that you want. And I know that it can be incredibly frustrating, and definitely, we have definitely all been there. I can see Hayley in the bottom corner there nodding away, like we've all, and I know that like those frustrations can be the times when people don't stick with it, isn't it? And it's like, they're the time, and I know you've never been at that point, but how do you get past those frustrations, and how do you like manage your own disappointment with that?
Right, so I think the longer you do it and the longer you're in, it becomes easier to manage your disappointments, because my belief in this business, these products, is so strong now that there's nothing and nobody that could like wobble me to do with the business and the product, like nothing, like absolutely nothing. So decide not to join and they say no, I do feel sorry for them, but I don't think about it for any long length of time, because I don't have time to think about the people that are not joining, and the people that maybe cancel products or don't want to take them or whatever. It's just part of the game. It's like a business like anything else. But I think when you have, like, I've got a few notes here, Emma, because I've had tons and tons of messages from people asking me, can I share my secret sauce? Can I tell them how I do what I do? And all I do is I follow the system that we have. So I'm consistent, which we've heard this word all the time, right? It's the most unsexy word ever, but it's the best word that you could ever grasp in this business, is to be consistent. And I mean something a little bit different with consistency. So not only get a really good DMO that sets yourself up for success, and what I mean by that is if you've got 15,000 different things in your daily method of operation that you're trying to tick through every single day, there'll be a day, and probably day one, that you don't actually do it, and then you feel crap about yourself at the end of the day, and that's not good for your business and your self-esteem. So set yourself up for success by having a DMO that you know that you can do, even if it hit the fan that day. Because if you lift and lay this business, your income will go up like that, and your business will be like that, and you'll be frustrated, and then you'll be asking the question, what am I doing wrong? Or why is this not working for me, or whatever? And it's because you're not being consistent. So being consistent and having a really good DMO and doing a 90-day game plan, what all of us know, is how I've built my business, like consistency. And even on the days that I didn't feel like it. My number one top tip to answer that question is keep your promise to yourself. Because this business is about what your sponsors can say or doing, this business is about you. And there's a really great quote that I was mentioning to my team earlier, and it's along, if you Google these words, I can't remember the exact quote, but it says, it goes along the lines of, the race is long, sometimes you're ahead, sometimes you're behind, but at the end of the day, it's only ever with yourself. And how I manage my disappointments is, keep your promise to yourself. So no matter what's going on in your business, whatever you've decided. So when I decided I'm going to do the early morning calls on the 1st of May every morning till the end of the year, like, I meant that. That wasn't like I'll do it until I don't feel like it, or I'll do it until my business is really going well, or it was just like, that's what I'm doing. That's my promise to myself, because it's so attached to my why. And when you keep your promise to yourself and you do what you said you were going to do long after the feeling you said it in had passed, and that's a big deal. Do what you said you were going to do long after the feeling you said it in had passed. Like, lots of us will go to Barcelona and we'll all be pumped, right? And we'll come back and we'll be super excited. And Barcelona will only change your business based on what you do when you come home from Barcelona. And that little line that I learned ages ago, do what you said you were going to do long after the feeling you said it in has passed, I honestly think that's a maker and breaker in those that succeed and those that don't. So how I manage those disappointments is, I know that I'm totally in control. Like, I'm in control of my business. I've not given my control over to someone else. I did for a period of time, though. So, like, when I was going through all those network marketing itises. So I'm responsible. So I know that I've got to do my DMO consistently. I'm going to message a certain amount of people every single day. I'm going to go get new teamies. I'm going to go get new customers. I am in control of it. So when you're totally in control of your own business, then you manage those disappointments better, because you've got a control of the whole business. Whereas if you're dipping in and out of the business, if you're doing it inconsistently, you tend to get attached to like one person joining the business or a couple of people buying the products, and that just feels rubbish. And I don't think you can manage your disappointments in that way. So I just know that I keep the promise to myself. Like, that's a big deal for me. Keep the promise to yourself and be yourself in this business. And the road is a little bit easier if you do that. Don't know if that answers that question. I kind of went off track, but that's what came to mind.
But no, it's I was asking how you manage the times when you get frustrated, because everybody's business does go up and down, and that's definitely one of my go-to phrases, which is, do what you said you would do long after the moment you said you would do it has passed. Because I know for me too that's absolutely what kept me in the game through any tough times that I've had, doing events and getting home at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, driving all night, like working all day and driving all night and all that, when I was in my first 18 months in the business. And even now, you know, going up and doing events here, there and everywhere, and when you don't feel like it, and it would be easier just to go to bed and all of that stuff. And that's what sets. And that was going to be my question, I guess. It was, wait, what do you think it is that sets apart the people who get the success that they want? Because everybody wants it, right? Everybody wants to be an NMD. Everybody says, like, oh, I want to be an NMD. But not everybody does it. And that's not because not everybody can. It's because they don't do what it takes consistently. And I see what you do every day, day in, day out. We talk 1,000 times a day, right? And what do you think it is that sets apart the 1% of people who actually hit NMD when actually 100% of people could hit it?
I think it's making what I've just said there, making that decision with yourself and attaching it so closely to your why that you can't not do it. It's like when someone would say to me you're still doing this business, my mind is like, I can't not do this business. How would you ever not ever do this business when what we've got in our hand is absolute gold dust? It's like we're offering people the chance to be healthier, happier, wealthier, have the lifestyle that they want, whatever that is for you. Why would you never just do what you need to do consistently? It's kind of like I said to one of the girls in the team this morning. I said, imagine if Just Plus sent you a letter today and they said, right, Bob, we'll just call her Bob, right? I was like, hey, Bob, here's what's going to happen on the 30th of December. So every day between now and the 30th of December, you have to get a flip chart out. You have to write 5 people's names every day that you've spoke to about the business and the products. You need to be as excited as you can, have as much fun as you can, and believe and know that it's going to happen, and have your vision all over your house, like on every wall, all your goals everywhere, and just know and be super excited and be really dead happy, because on the 30th of September, they're going to send you a letter and say, you have got SSC, or you have got QNMD, or you have got NMD, which is whatever your next title is. Would you do that? Of course you would. Like, absolutely 100% everybody would do that. And that's the nature of the business. That is the business, which is you just need to get your head down and get to work and be consistent and build your belief along the way. Because I honestly think, when I was sitting thinking the other day, I was like, what is the difference that makes the difference? And I was thinking, why did I go NMD this month, well, last month? And yeah, I'd done all the work prior, and I was consistent every single day, even when I didn't feel like it. I've never made an excuse, because that's kind of me making an excuse on what my big why is, which is to give Logan the life that he wants, and for me to have the life and the lifestyle that I want. I want all the nice things, but that's not what drives me. It's being able to get up in the morning and do what I want to do with my day. And the other thing that drives me is the fact that this company is not just like, you know, here's some products, they're great for you, here's some income. It gives me the opportunity to be a really amazing role model to my little boy. And when you hear people saying, you know, like, this is my role model or that's my role model, how amazing is it when a little child or even a grown adult is able to actually say, do you know who my role model is? It's my mum, or it's my dad, or this is what this business gives you. And when you keep going and when you're consistent and you keep growing and you keep building your belief and you do what you said you were going to do, like I said, long after the feeling you said it in has passed, you build yourself up that you're so proud of you, and you become a totally different person. I don't mean that you're like completely different to what you were, but you become really resilient and you become a role model, not like for your kiddies and for whoever's around you, but also for yourself. And it's a bloody good feeling. Like I say to my girls regularly, go and get your goals, because you'll feel really, really proud at the end of the month of yourself. And yeah, you'll get a great paycheck, but feeling really, really proud and becoming who you want to be, it's just absolutely priceless. And that's exactly what Juice Plus does for us. It's just gold dust. I can't remember the bloody question either.
That's all right. It's always gold as everything you share. Anyway, I'm just prompting you along. But so what I know that people will be watching, and obviously it's not just your own team on here. There's lots of people. We're on Facebook Live as well on financial freedom. So people always want to know, what's the secret? And I must have got asked that in my 6 years in the business like 1,000 times. What's the secret? What's the secret? Because everybody's looking for, what is it that she's doing that I'm not doing, right? So I'm going to ask you that question because I know that's what everybody wants to know. What do you think your secret is?
I think one of the lines that's come into my head is, don't sweat the small stuff, because it's all small stuff, right? Like, there's people in this business that I hear saying, oh, that person didn't order, and I'm like, so, next. Or such and such left the business. Well, okay, well, let's just keep going. Or, and I'm not commenting on anybody, but we hear it all the time, right? And I'm not saying it's easy to get to the point of just saying next, because you do get affected by it. It does impact you, but that's, like, I don't like the line, fake it till you make it. I think it's crap. I heard a line a while ago that I love better, and it says grow until it flows. And that's exactly what this business is. It's like, keep growing, keep doing the do. You can read all the books, you can go to all the courses, and by the way, we don't need any external courses, because like Emma Snedden, John Hollowatty, Alex Webb, I mean, these guys know how to build it because they've already built it, so that's who I listen to. And the staying close to the fire is the number one thing that I've done. And what I mean by that is stay close to whoever your sponsor is, whoever your mentors are, get on all the calls, get on all the Zooms. If you take yourself out of that, it's really easy to be distracted and to get involved with the negativity that's outside in the world. Whereas if you stay really close to the fire, get to the events, be at everything, stick to your sponsor like glue, then you can't not succeed, I don't think. But I honestly think that one of my main things that I've done is not sweating the small stuff for too long. Like, you give yourself maybe like a 5 minute, half an hour. I've been pissed off, Emma. You've known that. Like, I've called you and I'm like, I'm really pissed off about this, or that happened, or this happened, or what will I do about that? But I do limit it. But I only get to limit it now because I've experienced it over and over and over and over. And I think you've got to be in the trenches every single day, like every single day with your team. And you can't expect anybody else to be doing what you're not doing. So the biggest thing that's come into my head is just don't sweat the small stuff, because it's all small stuff. Look at what the prize is. It's kind of like when you're sweating the small stuff, it's like somebody's put sand in your hands and it's like an amazing opportunity, and you're just opening your fingers and let it go through. The longer you let in negativity, the longer you chat about crap and rubbish and nonsense, he didn't join and she didn't join and they won't buy, and how am I going to get there? I'm 5,000 bucks a day and whatever. That's just, it's kind of like being solution oriented.
Just let me mute whoever is making noise, one sec.
They'll hear me. But being...
Oh, shit, sorry.
instead of sitting in a little pity party. And I love that quote, they don't serve champagne at pity parties. So, yeah, and it doesn't mean, like I said to my team, you know, like I do have a no BS approach. And it's very much like, look at what we can achieve here. Let's just do the work. But we do have ups and downs. And obviously some of my team, like Caroline, example, last month had a wobble. So I spoke to her about it, but I got her, and her and I got her back on track really quickly. Because you can't afford to hang around in this game. I think why some people maybe don't get to where they want to be at the time they want to get there is because they think they've got time. They think they've just got time. So you just hang around for the first week of the month, or you go on a party on Friday night and you're hungover on the Saturday. And I'm not saying don't go to parties, but you're hungover on the Saturday, you feel shit on the Sunday, and you're not even together to do anything until the following Wednesday. Well, that's a whole week you've just wiped out your business, and you just wouldn't phone in sick to your job and say, I went to a party on Friday, couldn't really be bothered with the last 4 days. So, and I do treat it like a business, so I don't sweat the small stuff, and I do treat it like a business. So, like Cheryl Cortese says, employ yourself. When I listened to a training of hers a while back, I think she said at the Dublin conference, actually, Emma, when she was zoomed in or whatever, she said, employ yourself at a high level in this business. And what I took from that was every Sunday night, I look at my diary and I'm like, right, when am I doing my Juice Plus this week? And that's when I do it, because work expands the time you give it. So if you're just like, you know, like I'll go to work in the morning, I'll maybe go out for lunch with my friends, I'll then see the kids later. By the time you sit down, it could be 9 o'clock at night and you've not done your business. Well, that's not employing yourself to a high level or treating it like a business. So it's very much like, just schedule the time. If you've got a good half an hour chunk on a Monday, that's great. If you want to schedule like 2 hours on a Tuesday night, because that's your night for doing it, or your half an hour on your lunch break, but schedule it in, because whatever scheduled gets done, whatever is not scheduled doesn't get done. So I treat it like a business. It's it's super important to me. I've made it my number one priority since I decided I was going to go get NMD in the bag this year. Nothing else came before that. Didn't mean to say I didn't feed my child. He's fine, he's alive, he's perfect. But like, there's times he's been running around with his pants and bloody swimming goggles on, and I'm like, what did he have for his lunch? Because I'm too busy like building this business. He's fine and he's always looked after, but everything just wasn't perfect all the time because I had a huge priority in this. And yeah, there was some stresses. Like Joe would say, you're going back on the phone again. Are you going back on another Zoom? My mum would be freaking out because I missed another event or whatever. But this was like laser beam focus on this is what's happening. And now I've got to this level. I can't even believe it, Emma. You know that this is what I wanted to do anyway. I didn't come this far to get this far. I want to go all the way. But see, when this got confirmed the other day, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I was lying in the couch because I got up and I didn't want to wake Joe up by going back to bed for an hour and then getting back up again. And the first thing I thought was, as soon as I thought, I think we've done this, because it hadn't been confirmed, but it kind of looked like it was, right, how do I get to IMD? That was my first thought in my mind at 4 o'clock in the morning. And part of my brain was like, oh, Lynn, for God's sake, why don't you just chill out for like half a minute? But see this happening, getting to NMD, it's literally propelled my belief in myself, the company, the everything, the vision of it, and it's made me like more determined to build it bigger than I even was when I was building to NMD. And the other thing, lastly, Emma, that I said to you the other day was that I didn't expect, that I didn't even think about, was the fact that I've got to NMD. I have this amazing sense of pride in this company, and also a sense of responsibility of the fact that, you know, I've got to this really great position and people do look at you when you get to certain positions, and it's really important to be a great version of yourself and to be really supporting people and to be, you know, working as a whole team together, not just with your whole team, because I just have this enormous sense of being so proud to be part of the Just Plus company, and I just want to like sing it louder than I've ever done to everybody in the entire world. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, because it's everything that you could ever possibly want in your life, and why you wouldn't give it 150 million%, I've no idea. And the big thing that I just want to finally say is the time's going to pass anyway. So there'll be people that go for levels and they give up because they're pissed off, or they go out for a party, or they go whatever, right? They just don't, they're not consistent, and they'll look at like where they are now and they'll think, if I had just stuck to this, I could have got to X place by today. And you're right, you could have, because the time's going to pass anyway. That's a big thing that's always in my head. If I don't just get my head down and do this, the time's going to pass anyway, and I'm going to be this time next year not where I want to be, totally pissed off with myself. So the time's going to pass anyway. So if anybody's listening to this and you've got goals for Just Plus, put everything into it, like your whole heart and soul into it. Be really, really consistent, and go and make yourself really, really, really proud of what you've achieved, and keep the promise to yourself, because the feeling you get with your own self-esteem when you do keep that promise to yourself is way over the money that you can earn, like way over.
It's really true as well. I mean, I love all that. I just think that a couple of things that I think that you have that anybody can have is that you never sweat the small stuff for very long. You definitely not. You always have a no bullshit attitude to everything. And even when you do ring me or message me and you're like, oh, you know, this is annoying me or whatever, you always go, right, rant over, time to get back to work. And it's literally like, it's done. It's almost like I've just got to go, bleh, and it's done. And it's not even very often. It's just every now and again. We all have frustrations in life, and it's done. And then it's back to work. And it's and there's just this like kind of momentum that you have in your business and in your life, and the way that you speak, and the total focus on getting to your goal. But you also have no ego at all, like at all. And I think having been in this business a long time, there's a lot of people come and go and stay and whatever, in any business, in fact, not just this one, who have a lot of ego, and ego will get in the way of everything. And it's difficult when you have a lot of success and people are looking up to you or whatever, to be successful and not have an ego is a great combination, because in our business there's no room for it. It literally kills people's businesses. I've seen it time and time again when they believe their own hype. And you have no, like when I was talking to you about you being on stage and doing this and that, and you're like, you know, it's not about me, it's about everything else. And that's one of the reasons John and Alex are so successful, because they're both exactly the same. No ego, not about them at all about the team, all about other people. And it's a great combination. But one of the things that I think is important for people to understand is what you actually do day in, day out. Because you do work hard, but you work really smart. So one of the things you said there was I work out when I'm going to be working, what time I've got, what time I'm with Logan, all of that. So what, just like quick overview, what, like if you were saying to somebody, like what did you say to Caroline? Because Caroline, who you said had a wobble, you put her back on track, you brought them back on track together. How do you get, since she went STD then in like 16 days later, so how do you get somebody, what do you do day in, day out, every day?
And she went STD, and all of her sales bar one was somebody, the one of her sale was somebody she knew, the rest were somebody she doesn't know. So absolute proof. When I saw that she was going to do this, I was looking at this thinking, absolute proof that our system works, because I follow, I know it works, but when somebody just demonstrates it within like a 2-3 week period, it's like, okay, yeah, this absolutely works. So what I do is 6 o'clock every morning, I do my meditation, Tony Robbins priming exercise. If you've never done that to set up your day, then you absolutely 100% want to do it. But the trick is you've got to do it consistently. You've got to do it consistently. Like if you're not doing it consistently, forget it. Like just forget it, right? So number one I do is meditation. It's 15 minutes. It's 14 minutes and 53 seconds to be exact. But I give myself 15 minutes. Then I got on our 6:30 call, and I do our strategy that we do. So we're messaging people. We're asking them to take a look at the business. We're setting up our posts. We're following up with people. We'll literally do a half an hour blast, and I call it like where the badass women get to work in the morning. So that's us. But I tend to stay on until 7:30. There's a little bit of like jiggity pokery that goes on with that, because sometimes Logan wakes up earlier, or like various things can happen. So sometimes it needs to be, I got up a bit earlier maybe, or sometimes I need to work a bit. That's the standard. So I get a whole load of stuff done in the morning. And then I've scheduled in the day when I'm actually doing Just Plus. I put on my phone an alarm just whenever, I'll post in the morning, and then I'll put on a phone like a little while later that reminds me when to post. So I don't need to think about that, because my alarm will say, just post something. So I'll either post what I'm doing just now, or I'll look in my notes and I'll see some ideas that I've got, or I'll think I've not posted about the products yet, I'll post about the products. Then I just set the alarm again for slightly later. So that's how I do my posting. I've done tons of the adding in the morning, and I've already started messaging people about the products and the business, and then I chunk my time. So when Logan's at nursery, say like Joe's got him in the afternoon, I'll work a lot of evenings, because obviously he goes to bed, but I love it. Like I'm addicted. I'm totally addicted to this. This is like the best thing I've ever done ever in my entire life. So I have to be I don't have to be careful, but like I don't schedule it in, I've got to just schedule this and that's it done, and I'm looking forward to not doing it. Like I do schedule it, but I always run over because I don't want to stop doing it. But I schedule it to the point that I actually put my alarm on when, so say I was working 11 to 1, because I was picking up Logan at 1:30. So I would just put my alarm on for 1 o'clock, and then I would get Sharon. I spend the days that I'm working the business and the time that I'm working it sharing the products and business. I don't do anything else other than that. I don't do any of the crappy stuff and nonsense and looking at people's photos of Lanzarote on Facebook or worrying about what. I don't do any of that. Like, my time in Just Plus is doing the basics brilliantly, which is sharing the products and the business. I make sure I'm on every single, so the Sunday night training calls, the Monday night opportunity call, I just would not miss that. That's that. I go on the follow-up Friday calls that we've got. Whatever there is scheduled in my diary as a non-negotiable, no matter what. I am not missing that. That's where I'll be. Because if you can't lead yourself, how can you lead a bloody team? If you can't lead yourself to be on, like, I think even as soon as you start this business, you should be a leader. Because who's going to follow you if you're not leading yourself? And that comes down to being a product of the product, getting on all the calls, being at all the events, not letting any excuses come in, and doing the work, just doing the actual work that it takes. I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't think I've missed anything out. So, but honestly, you can actually do this round about a really, really busy lifestyle. I could have like a full day of doing everything I want to do with Logan and still massively build my business, because I believe everybody can speak to at least 5 people a day about this business, and if you want to speak to more, you can. So yeah, I schedule, but the thing is, Emma, it's consistent. I don't take the weekend off. I don't have a long lie on a Sunday because I deserve it. I don't like go away and spend 4 days away from my business. I don't leave the business ever. But that doesn't mean to say I'm doing it continually. I'm doing it consistently. And it's consistency that is the secret to success in this business. And success leaves clues as well. So anybody that's successful like you and John and Alex, I just need to say, right, what will I do now? What will I do now? And I just do what you guys say to do, which is always what we speak about all the time.
And you never questioned it. That was one thing I noticed, particularly with you. Like, I recruit lots and lots and lots of people in 6 years. I've brought in lots and lots and lots of people. And you are one of the people that really stood out. Was you were like, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I was the same when I joined with John. I was like, tell me what to do and I'll do it. And he went, do this. And I was like, done it, now what? And he said, do this. And I was like, done that, now what? Do this event, I've done it, now what? And you were exactly the same. And really got plugged into the system. And that's the kind of message I think I want to get across to our team, is like, we have such an incredibly good system that works, and you are now living proof, because you started that system with me 2 years ago, and you followed it and followed it and followed it and followed it, and when you didn't quite got stuck at SSC for a little while, and you weren't stuck at all, it was just the leaky bucket, and we would follow the system, stay plugged in, follow the system, and you did and you did and you did, and then you got to Q, and then you were at Q for what, 12 months? Following the system, bringing in new people, getting on the calls. You've done a 6:30 a.m. call every single day without missing a day since the 1st of May. Getting up every morning at 6 o'clock and getting on a 6:30 call with your team. And now we have like 60 or 70 people on that every single morning at 6:30 in the morning. You don't miss a day no matter what. Do you feel like getting up every day?
Nope.
No, of course not. Was it worth it now you got NMD?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, right? So if you have a system and it works, I never questioned anything that John and Alex tell me to do, and I still don't. And if John's doing a call, I'm on it. If Alex is doing a call, I'm on it. You do a weekly training call, I'm on it. Do I know what you're going to say every day? Yeah. Am I still on it? Yeah, because it's a great reminder of everything that I need to make sure I'm doing. Yes, I'm doing that. Yes, I'm doing that. Yes, I'm doing that. So you are what I think is an absolute walking, talking example of plugging into a system that we know works and sticking with it and not getting distracted and not going, oh, I'm going to try this and that. So that's the question I was going to ask you, like sort of, this is my second last question and then I'm going to get Alex on. So when you got to Q and we look like, yeah, we know it works, but then it's like, okay, so I'm going to go NMD like by December. December came and went, didn't go NMD. Right, I'm going to do it for Birmingham. Going to be on stage hosting in Birmingham as an NMD. Birmingham came and went, hadn't done it. And how do you stay really like, because you never got bogged down in like, oh, I can't do this or it's too difficult. Never. Like for any more than 30 seconds, I don't think ever had that. It was just like, it's happening. We need to plug the leaky bucket. Well, how do you stay like, because that's the thing I think I want people to really understand is when you have a system that you know works, you don't deviate from it, do you? No matter what.
No, you don't, but also my why is so massive, like it's like literally burning inside. But what I did do, and I've already mentioned it, and this is a trick, I stayed really close to people who could pour belief into me every single day. Like every single day, like you've poured belief into me like every single day. So's Alex, like literally in moments that I've been like, I remember when I was about to go, well, the month that I was going for QNMD, and I remember sitting up the stairs and we were so far away from it, and I remember looking at my phone and thinking, oh my God, I don't even think we're going to do this. And Alex just sent me a text totally out of the blue saying, you've got it, babe. Now that was a tiny thing, right? It's like a tiny thing, but and that's just one example. Like, you have like helped me like beyond belief. I don't even have the words to explain what you've done for me. But the reason for that is because I've stuck really close to you. Like, I'm like, the closer you can stick to the fire, the better, especially in the times that it's not going the way that you want, because you really need, it's kind of like you're on this railway track and you need to stay on the track, and sometimes you jump off, and if you've got somebody there that very quickly goes, boop, and you're back on, that's easier. Whereas if you've jumped off and suddenly you've nobody there, you can be away somewhere completely different. And what that does is it keeps your belief building and building, because like I was speaking last night on the call about having your goals for this month, and I said to the girls, what is your no matter what goal? So the goal that you're doing no matter what happens on planet Earth. So if your hamster dies or your house blows up or whatever, what is that goal that you're doing, right? And then what's your stretch goal? So what's the goal that you really, 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 really want, but maybe your belief is just not totally there. It's not right behind it. It's not backed up, because you're a bit like, I don't even see how that would ever happen in my life. And the more that you keep believing and keep being close to the fire and keep tweaking all the way along, the more your belief just builds and builds and builds till it becomes inevitable what you're going to achieve, because you believe it. Like, you believe it so much that it has to just show up. So that's what I did. I just stayed so close to the fire, and the more that when I was starting to get frustrated, like this isn't happening quick enough, what is happening? Well, there's another one in my NMD school got bloody NMD, and there's another one. So Jackie Hind and Justine and Dan and everybody at NMD school are just like boom, boom, boom every single day, and I'm like, yeah, I'm still here. I did apologise to them when I got put in the NMD group for being. I was like, sorry it took me so long. I know you were waiting on me. The straggler. But what kept me on track was staying close to you guys and allowing you to I was like, what will I do? What will I do? What will I do? And I kept doing it, but you just poured belief into me, and I believed you. Like when you were saying, just keep what you're doing, and I was like, right, I'll keep doing what I'm doing. And you just poured that belief into me constantly, and every single person on this call has that person. We've all got, whether you're their sponsored or whoever's their sponsor or whatever, they just pour that belief into you every single day, and believing them builds yours up to the point that you've got so much you can start pouring it into other people as well. So that's what kept me on track, is staying really, really close to the fire. I just say about the same three things, don't I? Like, stay close to the fire. I can't remember what, consistency, and something else that I said, don't sweat the small stuff. But it's really simple. There's only a few little things. It's just we overthink this business. We start to get comparisonitis, which is rife, and it's the worst thing you could have in this business, like the worst thing. You need to make a promise to yourself today that you'll never, ever, ever have comparisonitis again. You'll never look at anybody else in this business and think they're better, or the reason they can do it is because of X, Y, and Z, or, you know, they can do it but you can't. Everybody can do this business. Like, as soon as I hit NMD, I remember thinking when John phoned me, every single person can get to NMD. I used to think it was just people that spoke a lot or were really loud or whatever. Every single person can get to NMD. You just need to follow the system and stay really close to the fire, and don't allow yourself to give yourself excuses, and keep the promise that you made to yourself and your family and whatever that vision is that you've got. And just every week, every month, just pat yourself in the back for stepping that bit further, and just keep going. Don't look left, don't look right, keep going. Sound like a textbook of you guys, don't I?
But do you know what? It's duplication, and it's so funny because like that's what I taught you, and it's what John taught me, and what Alex taught him. It's just the same stuff. And I remember John saying to me, "Do you know what we actually do? Sometimes it's quite boring because it's the same thing day after day after day after day after day. But if I've only got to work a couple of hours a day for the rest of my life, sharing the product, sharing the business, and doing a Zoom call a day, I'm all over that shit. Like, that's amazing." So the final thing which you touched on there that I want to ask you before I bring Alex on to kind of wrap up is, one of the things you said there was that you got filled up with belief and you pour that into your team. You are incredible with your team, and I'm sure that they're all on here and they'll agree with that. Like, you're an amazing upline to your own team as well. Constantly building them up, constantly support them, but you don't micromanage. And I think that's another thing for those people who are building into leadership positions. That's a real key strength that I think that you have that other people can develop, which is you don't spend any time on the small stuff with them either. There's no micromanaging the team. There's no, so how do you do that? What way do you kind of manage your team or lead your team rather than manage them?
Yeah, so my number one thing about the team is I've got to show up myself and be in the trenches and lead by doing the do. So the girls need to be seeing me getting customers and bringing new people in, because how can I help them do that if I'm not doing it as well? So that literally is my number one thing about helping the girls is I need to go and show the way so that they then know the way. We've then got a system, a really, really easy system, and I plug the girls into the system. And also in our group chats and anything, the girls know this, that there's no room for negativity on there. Like if negativity comes in any level, like with it, I don't kind of like say, right, Melanie, because I can see Melanie there. I'm like, right, Melanie, stop that. But I'm like, right, let's look at it this way, girls, right? And then once we sort it out, it's like, right, that's that done then. Let's move on. Or I'll do things like if anybody on the team says the word try, that's just unacceptable, right? Because you don't try. If you said, like, let's try moving this pen, like, try moving the pen, try moving the pen, just move the pen, right? So I send little, like, those jiffies that is like Yoda says, there is no try, do or do not. But I do keep it light-hearted. I'm not a bitch. Like, I don't know if I sound like a bitch because I'm, like, say it's no BS. I'm not. I'm really open, like, to the girls. We chat about anything we need to chat about, but at the end of the day, I'm so focused on what their goal is that I work with them, because it's like, this is what we're doing and we're doing it no matter what. And as soon as they maybe get a little bit off track, I help them get on track, and I help them really just look at exactly what it is they want to achieve and just follow the system. That's all I talk to the girls about is, this is what you want to achieve, let's like keep doing it and follow the system. And they've always got my support, and I'm always there to help them, and we have a laugh, and we're kind of in it together. It's like a big huge movement that we're all in, and we're all part of it. But we're all women that really want something more, and to get something more, you've got to become something more. And if you've got a team of people that really want that, I think what role I take is show them what I do, because I go do it. I don't just like do one customer a month and no teamies. I go and do a lot, and then I show them what it takes, and I'm there to support them. But it's kind of like, there was a quote somewhere that says, I'll cuddle you, but I'll also kick you up the ass at the same time. So it's kind of like that way, I think maybe that's something the girls will tell you, I don't know. But that's, I think, what I do, because that's the only way to do it. Because if you cuddle people for ages, nothing gets done. And if you kick them up the ass all the time, that's horrible. Like, that's just, like, really horrible. Whereas if you do a bit of both, people get moving and they feel proud of themselves, and I just want these girls to get those paychecks. Like, that's like when Melanie, I just keep saying her there, you know, she's like going for Fast Track SC this month, which she's absolutely going to get. I want her to phone me on the 10th of next month and say, Lynn, you will not believe what I just got paid. Like, that is a massive, I can feel it in my belly right now. That's a massive driver for me. So therefore, I need to kind of like tweak her sometimes. And sometimes she does go off the rails. She's a bit crazy, Melanie. But it's just about being real and recognising who people are. But I don't work with anybody that isn't working, that is moaning, that has got, like, you know, every negativity issue for any solution. That's the thing with negative people. They've got a problem for every solution, don't they? So I just don't, like, I just don't. But I actually have very few people in my team that are like that anyway. So I'm just really real with them. I don't try and sugarcoat anything. I just tell it like, I speak to them as if they were my sister, and my sister was coming at me about the business and saying, what do I do? And I said, do that. And then if she got off the track, how I would speak to her is how I speak to the girls. Yeah, that's what I do. And
it's really, and that works, and it's so, and it's like, if nothing else, negative. I mean, John and Alex taught me that from day one. Like drama will kill your check. It'll kill what you get paid. It'll kill your business. Getting stuck in a cycle of negativity, and I'm the same. Like, as soon as there's anything like that, we either deal with it or it's just get rid of it. Because it's, if you were dealing with every little thing, like some people get into that, like you get into this spiral of just like, how did we end up here? Like, how did we end up talking about this when we could have been out there having 20 new conversations when we've been dealing with this tiny little thing, like why someone didn't join or buy or whatever.
I'll tell you another thing that I do, Emma, actually, that makes it helpful for people is you can recognise in your girls when they're ready to jump, right? Yeah. And I mean by when they're ready to go to the next level, or they can do a bit more, or they're capable of doing that presentation, or they're capable of standing and doing the products at an event. But sometimes some of us don't want to, and we don't want to get out of their comfort zone. And how I sometimes see it is like some of my girls stand on the edge of the cliff, and I'm like, do you want to go? And they're like, oh, I don't think I can. And I'm like, I think you can. And I just kind of like push them. And sometimes you need that person behind you that's like, yes, you can, you're going, and you kind of catch them as they go anyway. Because if you just kind of like pander around and cuddle all the time and all. That's nice and lovely, but nobody gets any flipping results, and then nobody's happy on payday. So I know I do that because I've done it to like Amanda, when she didn't, maybe was a bit like, can I really present? And a few of the other girls with us, I'm like, I know you feel a little bit about that, but you can do it. I know you can do it. So just borrow my belief right now until you've got your own, and then just like go. So that's one of the things.
I love that. Borrow my belief for now. That's a great line, because you can kind of like, you can visualise that. I'll just borrow your belief because you've got loads. It's got loads, tons to spare. Amazing as always, and I think that you know, you can see, if you like, for anybody who's watching, you can see why you've got to where you are. But I think there's a couple of things that I think really make you stand out. There's loads of things that make you stand out. One is that you're not a spring chicken. You're not like 20 with no ties and nothing else to do. And the number of times you and I have said, I don't understand why, if people have got no kids and no like baggage of any description, they should be flying through this business, because it's like, look at Hayley sat there with a newborn. She's got a newborn and a toddler still in nappies, and a little boy who's just started school, and she's on the 6:30 a.m. call every single morning, hosting it sometimes, and on the follow-up Friday calls. And so if, like, whatever we've got going on, wherever we are in our business, in our lives, it's a total result of what you are doing or aren't doing. And you're an absolute example of, I haven't got time. In the number of times you said, like, I haven't got time to chat. And even when Alex phoned you the other day, and we had $7,000 with 3 days to go, we needed $7,000 for NMD. And a lot of people would have been like, oh, that's not doable. Your whole team were like, right, let's do it. And we were messaging saying, we've got this to do. And I think the next day we had like $3,000 left. And then the next day on the last day of the month, we had $2,500 to do on the last day of the month. That's a lot of money. But we did it, and there was no like, if we do it or maybe we'll do it. It was just like, it's done, that's done. It's just like, what time is it? 4 o'clock, we'll have it done by then. And I love that decision making, and your whole team, because you're like that. And this is the message I want you guys, if you're watching, that Lynne's team are like that because she's like that. And people don't do what you tell them to do. You totally lead by example, and you've got loads of your own customers this month and loads of your own team members. And the day you went NMD, you were still recruiting new people and bringing in new team members and customers, and that's what it takes to be successful. So we're all Operation PMD now, like, that's it. But clip the others along the way.
Shout out to the girls as well, because I remember when Dan went NMD, and I remember listening to him doing one of these calls, and I remember him talking about his team, how his team all came together in the last day, and I remember thinking, oh my God, that must be absolutely amazing, an incredible feeling when everybody comes together in the last day. And I've never seen teamwork like I saw in my team, like unbelievable. And everybody was supporting each other. Some of the girls were giving each other, I mean, some of the rest, because we were on a call to 12 o'clock at night on a Zoom still working.
I know.
And some girls were giving other girls an order because they wanted to hit their PB or their SDV or their reconfirm or whatever. And that's for me is really kind of like how Juice Plus is very different, how Team Rhino is very, very different. Like, we're not just like in this to, you know, just make money. There's a bigger thing going on here, and we're all in it together. So I just wanted to give a huge big shout out to the girls that are on here that are in my team, because I've never seen anything like it. And yeah, we've only just begun. I mean, literally, this was like, as soon as we got there, it was like, right, team, this is us. We're in now. It's like the letters in the door. It's like, hello, we're now in. So now we get going.
Been queuing up for that party for a couple of years, right? And it was, I mean, we were on a call until midnight. We started at 9:30, like a follow-up Friday call, and everyone just stayed on until midnight, and it was just the best feeling. And I'm going to get Alex to talk about it in a second, and you and I talked about it the next day. It was like, and John and I as well. It's really hard to describe what that feeling is. It's like a feeling of just being, of belonging, of love, of connection, which are two massive human needs, love and connection. And you get that in this business every single day. But that Friday or the last day, or Wednesday was, wrap up Wednesday that we did, that being everybody together was just one of the highlights of my business in the last 6 years. Was those few hours, that day of everybody. I knew we were going to do it. I had no doubt that we were going to do it, but it was just, your team were just on it, and they were just so, no, it wasn't even frantic. It was just a quiet intensity of, let's get this shit done. And everyone is so happy for you. So thank you so much. And the one thing of that I've written down in capitals that I am as well is addicted. Utterly and entirely addicted to my business and addicted to my team. And I know that you are too. And it shines through in everything that you do, being addicted. And at the minute, like, I don't want to do anything that isn't business related. If it's not business building my business, I haven't got time for it at the moment at all. I'm totally addicted, and I love working with you. Thank you so much for sharing everything that you've shared. I would get you to give your 3 top tips, but I know what they are, because you've said this the same thing again and again and again. Hey?
That's them. Everything in there is my top tips. That's it.
So I want you to go just all the way to PMD. I can't wait to share every second of the whole journey with you. I'm going to get Alex on now. 1 second. Was he there? Unmute him. Alex, are you there? Check he's still here. There you are. Sorry, mate. Left you hanging there for a little while. Are you all right?
I'm good, thanks, Dad. Yeah, thank you. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Wow, well, thanks for having me on the call, that's for sure. But, wow, you know, sign me up, Lynn. I'm so excited. I love it. No, seriously, I absolutely love it. And I love, like, what you've been talking about is actually getting your group together. And they're all fighting to sort of get you over the line. And do you know what? We've always done that in the Rhino thing. It's like if somebody needs something, help them. It's going to come back to you. It'll come back over and over and over again. I've known this business. Don't forget, guys, I've been in this business. This is my 30th year using this psychology and philosophy, which has changed my life dramatically. I mean, really dramatically. And I've been able to pass that information on to Emma and John and Rob, you know, Lynn, you know, and it's great to have this like closeness with people. You know, I mean, to watch it go over something like watching Lynn's journey, say over the last, say, 4 months, maybe, you know, like she says, I ring her up at certain times, and wow, Alex, you rung me just at the right time. Well, when you're going through that journey, just at the right time is all the time, which is crazy, you know. I mean, I could pick this phone up now to somebody in Australia and they go, oh, wow, you've just rung me at the right time, because if they're in the zone, that's exactly what we need. We need somebody. I mean, I've done it with Emma, you know, I've held Emma's hand. And guess what? Emma's held my hand. And that's what it's about as well. It's not just about a one-sided thing, about me being in business for this long and actually doing that. Do you know what? Like, people have all sorts of different sayings in this business, but the one that stuck with me, and I'll probably get it tattooed on my back one day, and that is, if it is to be, it's up to me. If it is to be, it's up to me. And that's what my upline, Shay O'Brien, told me. And he used that psychology philosophy, and he's worth 180 million quid. You know what I mean? You've got to start understanding that when people like Lynn say this is a higher energy, you can't just dive up to that higher energy, you grow into that higher energy. You grow into that understanding through whatever, through having disappointments. I had more disappointments, by the way, than anybody else on this call, collectively. Nobody believed me about this business. But don't forget, we didn't have videos then. So no, we had videos, but we didn't have phones, we didn't have computers, so I couldn't bounce it over to anyone. I had to literally physically send a video to them and see if they'd listened or watched it. It was painful. That business was so hard. What you've got right now, it's like Lynn said, you've got this thing in your hands that you can take not only yourself to another level, but your family, your friends, the people you care for. You can change their lives by giving them this information. Juice Plus is a product. It's what, you know, there's a little thing called Juice Plus. The plus is the personal development course that you're going to go through in order to attain what you want to try to attain. I'm still doing it. I'm still writing my goals down. I'm still excited. Like now, Lynn's broke. I've got Harriet to break out. You know, and all these guys, they're all coming to Thailand. And we want to give it back. We actually want to give it back what you guys are giving us. But nobody's going to get anything unless you use the rules and regulations of what we try to do. And the blueprint, which is what Emma's consistently talking about, what Lynn is consistently talking about. And some of it is going over your head because you're not ready to take that information on yet. And you wonder why you're not going as fast as you want, or this, that, and the other. Because you've got to start working on yourself. You've got to have the courage. You've got to have the courage to write those goals down. You've got to have the courage to get up early in the morning, get on that call. You've got to have the courage to go to Barcelona with one person who could change your life. Can you imagine if you took one more person to Barcelona, one more person, and that person became an Emma Snedden? Just think about it. That's how Emma came in. Somebody's shown her the business. That's how I came in. And I wouldn't have even been on your list of people. I had dreadlocks down to here, I had torn jeans, I borrowed a suit to go to Docklands to the first presentation, which was too small, with all my locks tied back. I would not have been somebody that you wanted in your business. But if you would have done, and you would have brought me in correctly, the override on my business alone for the rest of your life is incredible. Seriously, we're talking $500,000 a year you're doing off my ass. Just by showing me the business at the right time to the right person. One more person to Barcelona, guys. One more person on the product. One more person into the business could change your life. And that's why you don't give up. The only people who fail in this business are people who give up. Guess what, guys? You all deserve it. You all deserve the break that everyone is trying to get right now. I earned my break. Lynn has earned her break. Emma has earned her break. Why? Because they've stepped out of their comfort zone. And that's what we have to do, guys, because if we keep doing what we're doing, we're going to get exactly what we've got. And if you're happy with that, then fine. But you wouldn't be on this call if you didn't want to change something. And that something is all about you. And we're here to help you. We're here to hold your hand. We're here to sort of like pick you up when you think you've dropped, but you haven't, because you can never go backwards when you've on a personal development course. You can't go backwards because you've learned it. Whether you use it, it's a different ball game. Whether you use it, it's a different ball game. And that's what Barcelona's about, guys. Is when you're going to go there, you're going to listen to so many stories in Italian, Australian people. All these people are going through the same journey as you. And you'll be able to take little snippets from them and take it back to England and remember that woman who was on the stage said something that really just changed your game. Make this another fantastic month for yourselves, guys. If you're going to go for the qualification, do it until the last second of the day. Commit yourself. Go and look in your kids' eyes. That's what I used to do. I go and look in my kids' eyes and say, I'm doing this for you. You know, there's times when I just get, I can't do anymore. And I go, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Can I take any more no's? Yes, I can. And all of a sudden you start having unbelievable success. And I wish everyone on here to have the sort of success that I've had and are having. I really want you to have that success, because this is absolutely off the clock. For a dyslexic Rastafarian hairdresser to be in this sort of situation now in my life, at the age of 64, my God, everyone around me is dying. They're dying. They're bored out, the brains are dying, and guess what? They're still doing the same thing. This hairdresser's in Bath. I walk past the hairdressing shop, and the poor old boys are still cutting hair. Thank God I was given this opportunity. Thank God I grasped it. Thank God I listened to the most amazing people, and thank God I've got people in my business like Lynn, Emma, Katie Gravy, John Holowati. These people have changed my life dramatically. I had to start with me first. And that's why you're on this call right now, guys. So I just want to say congratulations to the group, Lynn's group. You really did pull it out of the bag there, guys. But I want to know this. Who's the next NMDs going to go through? Who are the next people who are going to take that? How can I put it? Have the guts to go that extra mile. Because that's what makes NMDs. So thanks a lot, guys, for your time tonight. See you all in Barcelona. It's only a couple of days now. I'm really, really looking forward to it. And we will have the most amazing time. And you won't need a plane when you come back. You won't need a plane. So,
Al, before you go, I've just got one quick question for you while I've got you on my spotlight. So you have a vision of like where the business is going, and obviously, you know, like what's ahead, and you've got, you know, hindsight, which is often an amazing thing. But I was talking to you the other day and saying I've never felt more focused and driven and excited about what's ahead than I do right now. And like, I feel like, I can't explain it. It's like a feeling really deep in my belly about what's about to happen across the whole company. Is there any way that you can kind of articulate that for the guys and say what is about to happen if they just stay consistent and focused now is like the more important than ever, right?
Yeah. Well, I do know that there are certain things that are happening that you'll hear about in Barcelona, and which will change your businesses. Everybody who's on here, things I can't mention. But what I do know is that the company that came in and bought down Ultra now is a very high-end communications company, and into social media in such a big way. It's going to take it to yet another level. This is something that we've wanted for a long, long time. You know, the offices that we've got now in Hammersmith, they're serious. It's like you walk in there and you go, whoa, this is something else. And I felt really amazed at it when I've been going back and forth to the offices for 30 years. When the new offices in Hammersmith, anybody who's on the line right now, maybe you should just drive down there and say, do you mind if I come and have a little look around? It will blow you away. Seriously, rows of people with different countries, just dealing with all of our stuff. I mean, I couldn't thank them enough for what they do for us. It's incredible. All we do is go out there, take the punches, and get a check. They're the guys who are doing all that stuff. We don't have to worry about it. This is a no-brainer, guys. This is a no-brainer. The stuff that is coming your way right now, not only with product lines, not only with the way the business is changing and becoming even better than it ever was in 30 years, okay? But the whole energy, the people, the quality of people who are joining now are really high-quality people. They're good people who want to change something. And guess what? You women, you are ruling the world as far as I'm concerned. You're ruling the world. So start ruling it right now from your own home, from your own lounge. Make it happen, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, mega excited. Thank you, Alex. Thanks for...
Sorry I couldn't go into too much detail about some, but I don't want to blow anyone's bubble. That's going to be in it.
It's enough. That's enough. It was whetting of appetite I was after, and you've done that. I just be clear that what is ahead is insane, like way beyond what you've even ever thought is possible. But this is the time. It's always the time. But just staying really focused. Don't get distracted. And that was Shay O'Brien, actually your upline, John, that gave me that advice when I was in SSC. And he just went, just don't get distracted. And I was like, what do you mean? Because I was really focused. I was like, I'm not distracted. And he went, the time will come. Other things will come along. People will be, this fits nicely alongside what you're already doing and blah, 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 blah. Or what about this? And he was like, just don't get distracted by anything or anyone. And it was probably a year later or 2 years later before that advice was even relevant to me. And I was like, oh, I remember he said that was going to happen. And it's that level of, there is nowhere else where you're going to get someone who's got Alex's level of experience, or like all these different people who've got all this like absolute insight into what's gone on ahead, what's ahead and what's behind and what you need to do. So when Alex says stay focused and stay in the game, I'm staying focused and I'm staying in the game. And you guys need, like, honestly, just do the same, because you've never been wrong. You and John, as far as I'm concerned, like, and even with Lynne, and you've never been wrong about any of that. You've always been, the advice you've given me has always been, I might not have always wanted to hear it, but it's always been spot on.
Yeah, pretty much the same myself from Shane. But yeah, like you say, Emma, the future is so bright, it's a joke. It really, really is. But not only, I mean, the UK at the moment, the leadership that's coming through is just sort of amazing. Seriously, over the next 3 to 5 guys, some of you are just going to excel like you've never excelled in your life. You're going to do it. But just get on that train. Get on that train. And don't look left. Don't look right, like Lynne said. Just look forward and have your goals and your why. And there was one quote that Lynne said that I think was really good. Borrow some of my belief. I think that is just
love that.
Beautiful. I love that. I'm going to wrap that one up and buy it. I tell you, that is beautiful. Thanks, Lynne, for that. And thank you, guys. I'm going to have to...
yeah, thank you.
What I was doing, but see you all in Barcelona. Nice one, guys.
Cheers, Al. So the final thing from me, guys, I just wanted to say a quick bit about Barcelona, which is... obviously, we're all going over either Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Some people are going for a week. Some people are going for a weekend. On the note of not getting distracted, right? It's an amazing opportunity. It's going to change your life completely. But don't take a week off. If you take a week out of your business and just party for a week or holiday for a week or whatever, understand that you'll pay the consequences for that further down the line. So if you've got a DMO, still do it when you're in Barcelona. If you're doing the 6:30 calls, we'll still be doing them when we're in Barcelona. If you're coming on, like, whatever you normally do that and bolt Barcelona onto the end of it. Share the videos, share the lives, be live all the time, go live constantly showing the stuff that we're doing. Don't live the speakers, but live the atmosphere. The speakers, no one's gonna, you paid to be there, so you absorb what the speakers are saying, but show the atmosphere. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like when they open the doors and 10,000 people run in to get the front row seats. Like, that's going to be insane. Show yourself having a good time, but work your business in the background like normal, because as Lynne said, this is about doing the do every single day. So my job when I'm in Barcelona is to do the do of my normal messaging and contacting and emailing and all the stuff that you do every single day, still doing that first, and then conference comes after that. Conference is an add-on. So that's a real kind of watch out, because what I don't want you to do is to get to December and go, oh shit, I didn't do anything for the middle week of November. And then, do you know what will happen? It's like coming back, if you ever come back from somewhere and your engine's flat on your car because you haven't looked after it, or you left the light on or whatever, that's what'll happen. You'll come back from Barcelona, you'll be tired, you'll be emotional, you'll be all of that stuff, and then it'll take you another couple of days to get back in the groove, and before you know it, it'll be like the 19th of November and you've like got 10 days left of the month or whatever. So that's the best advice I can give you, is have an amazing time, absorb it all, share it all. Like, you'll get your rhino skin while you're there, you'll have the time of your life, but do the normal do. Message the people, build your network, do the normal do. And if you do that while you're there, it will absolutely transform your business, because people will see another side of what Juice Plus is all about and what you're all about, and the mission and the vision that you have for your own life. Lynne, thanks again for sharing everything that you shared. Congratulations. Enjoy every second. We're going to party hard in Barcelona celebrating your NMD. I am 100% sure of that. And all of you who've been promoted or who are just coming over for the first time, come and say hello, go and meet people, go and chat to people. It's your chance to speak to people. Go and speak to John, go and speak to us. If you see people on Zoom calls, go and say hi. Go and just be a real person. Don't have to pick people's brains necessarily. Just go and, if you see me in the toilet queue, come and say hi, like whatever. That's what we're there for. It's there to meet and mingle and just have the best time. I cannot wait to see everybody there. I'm flying out on Thursday, so I'll be there all the way through the conference, and I'm excited. I can't wait. These conferences are life-changing, and the guys who come to them, you will never ever have any you'll have complete clarity and vision in the company, the vision, the mission, the product, the people, and then all that's left is what Lynne was talking about, what's going on between your ears, self-belief and mindset, and the only person who can build that is you. Okay, have an amazing evening. Thank you so much for staying on the call, Lynne. Thank you for sharing your story, guys. I'll see you all really, really soon. Night night.